Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue unpacking some core Taoism concepts. And today we enter kind of a series because according to Taoism, the world's material boiled down to just five essential things. Like that's the building block of our world. We have Jin, Mu, Shui, Huo, Tu. Here, five of them, just like Confucius' five virtues of what a human civilized, according to the Confucius book of living, how to behave. So here, Taoism, not talking about humans, talking about the world beyond the humans. That the five major elements of the world, building blocks, so to speak. So, 金木水火土. Today we start with 金. And you can see simplified traditional look exactly the same. 2,000 years ago, a little bit more nuanced. The triangle, which is not a perfect enclosed triangle, but Chinese way of triangling, which is this kind of a rooftop with one horizontal line, like a beam there, to show you the shape of a triangle. And that means gathering. And then we have the soil symbol, two horizontal lines with one vertical line. And the soil symbol gets a little bit twisted here. So there are several ways to understand here. This first horizontal line on the top, that's the benchmark. That's the ground level. That's what's really there. And then we have this vertical line, means this connector between above the ground, under the ground. And then we have the second horizontal line. That means this is an abstract line. It's like a pointer. It's like today's arrow. It's not existing in the physical world, but it's the attention director to tell you, okay, here, under the ground, this is what we're talking about. That's where you place your attention. Because when we look at a picture, artists have a way to direct our attention. Or when we listen to a speech, the speaker has a way to direct our attention. One is a 2D frame. That's static and only 2D. How? In this 2D frame, the language creators try to direct our attention or manipulate our attention so that we get the message from the picture. It's a static. It's like the briefest way of storytelling through a visual there. So this horizontal line becomes such a director. Okay, so here we're talking about under the ground, something between this under and above ground, and our attention is here at the very bottom of it. It's totally at the very end of this underground. And then we have these two vertical dots in there. So now it becomes two versions, divergent understanding of how to read these two vertical lines. What is that? Okay. One version is these two vertical lines are like our thumb and the rest of the fingers. So it's like our human hand holding this whatever underground probe or tool that we're trying to hold it up to extract something out of it. So this is a human finger in there, because how we can connect our human world with jin. Here we translate as gold, but actually it's just any kind of mineral, metal mineral buried underground. Second reading of this two vertical line is simply something, imagine gold nuggets. So it's a scattered material underground, and there are bits and pits here and there. Only when the condensation reaches to a certain point, then it's worthwhile to go there to do this extraction. So this vertical line is this connection between this underground to above ground, and there is this, turning the direction. So it's not coming straight up. It's going out there, converted or transformed in a certain way that changed direction of it. And this second understanding would be the thing you're trying to extravagate. versus the first version would be your human efforts. We are holding this hand of this underground probe, and this bottom horizontal, like simply pointing your attention to way under the ground, what's buried in there. And when you have this triangle shape in there, means a gathering of things of such in there. As I said, when the density reach a certain point, there's a gathering enough for us to make such effort to extravagate what's underground. And that's basically a visual way to talk about the mining process or the mine itself, that it's something buried underground that's useful for humans. We humans handled to extravagate that, or it's the things that's gathering underneath that's useful for us. And we use it for tool making, right? Weaponry making, even, I guess, time capsule making. Ancient time capsules for Chinese would be such huge, a different size, I guess, a variation of size of Qingtou bronze that's casted. It's like a permanent shape. And then depends on the size, right? You have different size of surface that you can load in the message for later generations. That's how our current people can still track our language originally at the very beginning, like 3,000 or 4,000 years ago, how it looks. It cast into such metal. So 金木水火土. The first one is 金, probably because it's a technology that doesn't come as naturally or easy to master as the other technologies, because it involves heat. You have to process it, distill it, to further condensate it, to have a certain purity level, to be able to use all kinds of properties of the metal piece to make tools or weaponries for us, or time capsules to us. All right, so this is how it came from, the mining or the mine. Okay, 金主, gold master. Well, as I said, it's not just necessarily be gold. Can be any kind of metal, but habitually, or the primary metal, or the top tier metal would be 金 gold, the most expensive one. And of course, gold was used as value storage, that over time it still retains its value. So that's how people store wealth back then. And when we say 主 means master, so somebody who used the gold to master over you. That's what the 金主 is about. Basically, it's a founder. They use the monetary investment in whatever you're doing and to kind of influence you. You have to follow their intention, otherwise you're cut out, right? So that's what 金主 is. 现金, 现 means current, means right now. So it's gold right now, meaning that's the gold, type of gold you can exchange. You can use it as a transactional symbol, right? So that's Chinese way to say cash. That's something liquid, super liquid. In finance terms, right? Liquidity. So if something is easily converted to be used as currency, so that's 现金, it's equivalent of cash concept. Now, 金三胖. I cannot even imagine. It just popped into my mind. Okay, this is not any top expressions or Taoism related expression. I just think it's a funny expression because, know it or not, the Chinese speaking cultural circles or population who speak Chinese sometimes make fun of people, right? Give nicknames to leaders of their own country. Okay, so President Xi got all kinds of variations of nicknames, good or bad. And Jin Sanpa, in this case, is North Korea's country leader, dictator, Jin Sanpa. If you look at it here, it says gold, 3, fat. Okay, so Chinese have no shame, no awareness to fat shame others. I guess that's how they it kind of culturally, linguistically, and almost toxically and abusively keep the population weight in check, because body shaming or fat shaming is a thing in Chinese. Oh gosh. So 金三胖, 金 gold. It's simply the Chinese version of Kim. So Kim, you see Kim and the Jin kind of share the same vowel. And Kim is a Korean version of what Jin is. So anybody who is from the Kim last name, family name, would be translated in Chinese as Jin. 三胖, okay, why it's three? Because it's the third generation of the dictatorship. So it's the grandson of the original country founder, North Korea. And so it's a three, number three, or in English would be the third, right? But we just plug in the three in the middle as a Chinese habit, because Chinese would plug in the generational marker as the middle character. So you have your family name, right? That's your bloodline. And then you have your generation character in the middle. That's your timeline, your relationship to other generations, right? Marking there. And then the third is your individual marker. What's the most outstanding feature about you? In this case, this Kim Jong-un, Chinese regard him as a fatty, a fat boy. So we use the fat word on him, kind of almost like comical. I'm not sure if this is enduring, but this is definitely a derogatory. And it's amazing that Chinese digital online population, who for the most part anonymous, coined this expression, this nickname for another country's dictatorship. It's almost like they cannot talk worse about their own leader, so they have to project this another communist country's country leader to use derogatory term on them. So just in case, we have Kim in North Korea converted to Chinese Jin, and that's somehow happened to be the first opening material of the 5 major elements in the universe. And here is the standard gold, and let's just talk about a gold. Jin. Thank you for your time. See you another day.